It has all your amino acids, all your vitamins, all your minerals, and all 7 forms of fiber. And once you take our tea, you're taking a food that is complete. It has all the necessary phytochemicals that the body needs to break down any poison anywhere in the body.
The following testimonials and the results you are about to see are real. No scripts, no rehearsals, and no one has been compensated for their testimonial. God's Herbal Blessing Tea has been successfully administered to thousands of people with miraculous results for over 17 years. This tea has successfully helped individuals in their fight against over 153 different diseases, from high blood pressure and hepatitis to HIV and terminal cancer. See for yourself.
The diagnosis with breast cancer led me to drink the tea. September of last year, I started drinking 4 to 5, 8 ounces a day. I started on Tuesday, and by the following Thursday, the lump was totally gone. And I got it compared to by 2 different doctors. One doctor who had never met me said there was nothing in my breast, and the doctor who had originally found the lump said that he didn't understand where it went because he had 8 years of education, and he said he knew what he had found. And he looked in his charts, and he said it was extremely large, and he said it's gone. And it was the tea.
My diagnosis was stage 2 breast cancer that metastasized, and now it's stage 4 cancer. After I found out about the tea, and I knew I wasn't doing chemo anymore, I was like, I'll try it. I mean, what do I have to lose? But not really thinking that it would have that effect on it. My tumor grew to 8 centimeters. I started drinking the tea, and I started noticing that it was just shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. And I started getting up, walking, drinking water, cleaning up, just not feeling sorry for myself. Started dressing again. I had to stop dressing, just take a bath, put on more pajamas. I mean, and then I started spreading the news and telling other people about the tea and what it can do for them. Since I've been drinking the tea, I have no pains. I just found out about this metastasizing in June, so I have not been back to the doctor to see what is going on in the skull, the spine, or the hip. I'm going to make that trip to the doctor in December when I'm supposed to be dead.
They thought it was a cancerous mess and that I should get an operation right away. My doctor told me that he had gotten everything. He and his nurse standing by the bedside after the operation. He said, well, we've got everything that we could see, but we will have to follow up with chemotherapy and for 6 treatments. And I said, well, what are my options? And he said, you have no options, quote. That's a direct quote. You have no options. This is the way we treat cancers like yours. I found the tea in September of 1995. That was, my operation was April 6, 1995. I noticed a difference in the way I felt. And I had more energy.
I have more stamina. I'm basically an energetic person by nature, but I don't feel as sluggish. I used to feel very sluggish, very kind of like just out of it. I used to have my depression. Like I said, I don't have female depression anymore. I don't have the PMS anymore. I don't have the mood swings. I'm very calm. I used to be very, very uptight. I'm not anymore. As a matter of fact, my hair has grown. I don't have dandruff problems like I used to. I don't have the bleeding gums like I used to.
I wasn't looking for any particular benefits from the tea. I started drinking the tea because my wife was drinking it, and I wanted to know what she was taking, so I wanted to kind of test it out for myself. And one of the first things I noticed, besides the general feeling of well-being and a boost in my energy, but I noticed that my coworkers were getting the typical allergy symptoms that come at that time of the year where we have the high pollen rates. The allergy symptoms totally disappeared. And I think it's just amazing.
I could tell day by day that the lump was shrinking. I could tell it was. Totally. And I knew the tea was working because I was not having any doctor do anything else to me. So the tea does work, and it does shrink. It cleans the blood out. That's the whole idea of the tea. It detoxes your blood and cleans it out. And keep in mind, disease cannot survive in the blood if there's no poison there. And the tea does clean your blood out. You're filtering your blood out. You're cleaning it out. So that's the whole thing. Disease is just a word because it sets up in different types of diseases with different names. And by taking the tea, I was cleansing myself daily. So it was doing the job.
My quality of life is just living each day as if it was the last and not thinking about cancer when I wake up in the morning, just thinking about drinking a tea.
I was diagnosed with hepatitis B and C, and the doctor also told me there was no cure for it, B and C, the hepatitis. So I went and drank the herb tea, and I drank it for a little bit. Then I went back to the doctor, and he gave me another blood test. That was a year later, and the results show that there was no trace of hepatitis B and C in my blood. I told him I've been drinking herb tea. That's told the truth, and that's what I've been doing. Because he said, I haven't seen you in a while. I said, because I just didn't believe that there wasn't no cure. Like you said, I just went and got what I needed to take.
The tea have changed this family's life compared to the doctors and the over-the-counter medication. It has completely changed this family's life. I mean, we had suffering in this family. I'm talking about health issues that we no longer have, and had it not been for the tea, those problems would still exist today. It has completely changed the life. I mean, for me, I have a brand new wife. For the kids, they have a brand new mother. It has changed everybody's life in this house. I mean, even those that are no longer living in this house, it's a pleasure for them to call, and instead of someone saying, well, your mom is not feeling too well today. It never happens. So, and believe me, they call a lot more than they used to call. So it has really changed the life. It means a lot to me, and it's invaluable. I mean, the product is absolutely invaluable to this family.
If you suffer so bad, and I know people are suffering real bad if they have migraine, like I did, you are going to try anything that comes your way. I mean anything. You will try it. If somebody puts something in front of me and say, you take that, and I guarantee that's going to take care of whatever's wrong with you. You don't have to hit me over the head with a brick. I'm going to take it, and I'll find out for myself. Is it going to work, or if it doesn't work? And I'm so glad I was open-minded when I was introduced to that tea, that now I just don't suffer with pain. It
all started because of my wife. My wife suffered with migraine headache and serious deep depression and many other health problems she had. She was also seeing doctors, and she saw doctors in Europe. She saw them in New York, Maryland, just about everywhere we went, but never could they eliminate those migraine headaches and the depression. My wife started drinking the tea about 7 years ago, and since then, and all she have drank is the tea, no medication whatsoever, and have not seen a doctor really concerning that since she's been on the tea. She has not had a migraine headache or any deep depression. No migraine headache in 7 years and no depression in 7 years.
And I drink my tea, and it's just like breathing or getting up, eating your breakfast. You drink your tea.
When I want to be the best I can be, I drink the tea, faithfully. The doctors in California had given me some, it's like dopey stuff. It doesn't let you know you've got pain. It kind of makes you kind of mellow out kind of medicine. And my skin was getting bad from that. I was nervous and a little paranoid from being on that medicine. So I decided to get off that. When I found the tea, I got off sinus medicine because it made me bleed. The nose got really dry and it would bleed, and I didn't feel good. I don't do well on sinus medicine. And I got off the drug pills, the drug things, when I got on the tea, because I found that drinking the tea, the whole system kind of mellowed out, the sinuses cleaned up, and I had very bad sinuses. And just a feeling of well-being, and the more you drink the tea, the more you seem to get well. you give the body what it needs, and it seems like it's repairing, and you're getting more comfortable with yourself. I knew from the very first sip of the tea that it was something good. It reminded me of my very first martini. It tasted terrible, but there was something good about it because I felt myself like relaxing, and I just knew it was good, and I haven't stopped drinking it.
I'm 82 years old, and I'm not on any kind of medicine, only just a tea. I don't take any other kind of medicine, and it gives me a lot of energy, gives me a good appetite, and it just makes me feel good. I first started drinking the tea about 15, 16 years ago for bladder problems. Like if I was traveling, I'd have to stop 3 or 4 times to use the bathroom, but now I don't have to do that since I've been drinking the tea.
But the lump developed after I got off the tea. Then, and I went to the doctor for my physical, and he told me it was a lump there. And so he diagnosed me. They diagnosed me with cancer, and so I got on that tea, and in about 2 months that lump had dissolved, gone, and I started back to singing, and I had my energy, and I just feel great.
Well, since I've been drinking the tea, my body functions are regular, and I think the tea has made my body stronger than what it has been. And I know, matter of fact, I know it's done made it stronger, because I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning and gone. And I stay busy day in and day out. And I know between the tea and the good Lord has made me quite a man. Since we had Hakeem on the tea, we had to take Hakeem to Gainesville 3 times a year for liver problems. And then after the first year that we had him, he was 3.5 years old and wouldn't grow. And the doctor was wondering why he wouldn't grow. And because they had pulled the curtain on him and said that he was going to die, he wasn't going to live. But the tea has cleared Hakeem's system up. He couldn't eat chocolate. If he did, he would break out. He couldn't go out around some of the flowers in the yard when he would break out. Now he can go around any of the flowers, eat all the chocolate he want to eat anything he want to eat, and the tea has just done wonders for him. Well, in 8 years that Hakeem's been drinking the tea, he's become a miracle child. We'll say it like that because he has really grown, and we don't have any problem with him being sick. He is quite a strong little boy, and let's just say he's an miracle child. That's what we call him all the time. He's a miracle baby.
My grandbaby is 9 months old now, and the first few months of her life, she was in hospital. Not for the duration of those months. What I'm saying is she would get infections in the blood. She'd become very sick, and they would put her in the hospital, and she would have little IVs in her. They did spinal taps on her because they didn't understand what was wrong with her. When she was in the hospital, and I'm holding my little grandbaby in my arms, and I'd say to her, "Mum, when I get her out of here, she's going on the tea." Because the tea works for me, it works for my family, it works for everybody that's on the tea that I've heard testimonies, and I know it's going to work for the baby. I put the tea in her bottles, and she hasn't had any reoccurrence of this sickness, and she's never been sick since she's been on the tea.
There's no cure for it, and doctors haven't wasted any money on it because it's so rare. I was born with an eye problem called toxoplasmosis, and I've developed it in my birth mother's womb. It's something that took my eyesight. The doctors, when I came out, they realized, that I had no eyesight in that eye. They ran tests on me, and basically, it destroyed my right eye. I don't have any vision in it.
Danielle have always drank the tea on and off. but she was born with a bacteria in her right eye, which practically destroyed her right eye before she was born. And she could easily lose eyes when she have a direct appointment with a doctor, because when she starts seeing spot, we are to rush her to the doctor so they can give her medication. The medication is very strong. It causes a lot of the side effect in her, but we started giving her the tea a little bit more regularly, and we also start putting eye drops, which the eye drop comes directly from the tea. And since she's been using the eye drop and drinking the tea regularly, all those symptoms disappeared.
If I never started drinking it, I'd probably be blind right now, or on my way to being blind, because I was at the hospital and I was having attacks, like, you know, within 3 and 4 months at a time, and it would get worse before it'd get better.
And I started drinking the tea because of I was having a prostate problem. I've gotten to the point where I could barely urinate, and my wife asked me to start taking the tea, so I started drinking 3 cups per day, and by the end of the week, which was on a Sunday, I think it was, I started drinking, and by the end of the week, I was completely cleared.
As a mother, you've given the tea to your children.
Yes.
You've given the tea to your grandchildren.
Yes.
You've seen your husband improve.
Yes.
You have seen others in the neighborhood and family and friends improve.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anyone who didn't benefit from drinking this tea?
No, I haven't.
My husband is 82 and I'm 68, and he having problem with his sick, and the tea is getting the job done. He don't have to have Viagra anymore. Not at all. The tea get the job done.
Well, I say since I've been drinking the tea, as far as my sexual life is concerned, it's doesn't gain a lot of strength, let's say it like that. And it makes me feel good.
My life right now feels wonderful. I feel like reborn. You know, I can't believe it. Sometimes I just can't believe it that I'm pain-free.
I was scared. Sure was. And just when, you know, when somebody tell you about cancer, you know, it can be a mind thing too, because some people just go, you know, don't know what to do. Well, at the same time, I didn't really know much about the natural way. But as I started taking the herbal tea, that's when my mind went back to believing in the all-natural way, which was in the Bible days. It tells you about the natural way. After the 6 months was up, I went to another physician, and they did another Pat Smear on me, and the results came up normal. All I did was just kept drinking the tea on a daily basis, 3 times a day.
And I will tell you that I used to be on additional medication prior to taking the tea for my asthma, because I had an asthmatic cough that caused me to cough, continuously from about September 15th all the way through about 15 April. And you know, people that know me knows that I had this cough, and it was very nagging and very loud and a dry cough. I was also given additional medication besides the inhalers to help eliminate some of this cough that I had. But I have taken absolutely no other medication. I have not seen any doctor whatsoever. All I've done is drink the tea.
My body felt calm. It's as if it knew there were good things in the tea. The more you drink the tea, the more you're less stressful. You just feel it more. You feel more together. You feel like you're standing on both legs, or you're adjusted, or it's a feeling that it's hard to put in words, but to me, like adjusted or balanced. Those words come to my mind, is how you feel. And if you keep drinking it faithfully, you go beyond that to energy, you know, clear thinking. You know, your mind works. You don't go, duh, what's that number? You know, I mean, your mind, you just seem to, you work better. Your body is like a mechanism, and you give it the tea. It's like giving top-grade gasoline to a car, I guess, but you just give it the tea, and it seems to do something to the body to make it run real well. It's whatever's in the tea is what the body needs. I know that.
My only side effect was a positive one. In other words, I took the tea and I noticed the benefits for removing any allergy problems. But the other thing that occurred to me was that I had severe knee problems. I recently got my black belt in karate, June 2nd, and for the period of about a year, I was involved in intensive training to help me prepare for that black belt test. And we were doing a lot of jumping and crouching, and I noticed that I was getting severe pain in both of my knees, but especially in my left knee, where I had an injury, high school football injury, where I had ruptured my tendon, and it had never totally healed. And when I would come down on that knee especially, it felt like sharp needles, very sharp pain. And I noticed after drinking the tea for about 3 weeks that the pain totally went away. And I now have no problems with my knees whatsoever. It is absolutely a part of my daily routine. And I usually drink 1 8-ounce glass when I wake up on an empty stomach. If the allergy, if the pollen count is very high on a particular day, I may take 2 8-ounce glasses. And I have to confess that on the day of my karate exam, I drank 4 8-ounce glasses right before the exam. We had a 4-hour black belt exam, and afterwards I felt absolutely great.
I started using the tea as an eye wash about 8 years ago because I would be driving down the highway. If I would pull my glasses off to be clean, I couldn't see from here across the streets. But now I can, since I've been using the tea for eye water, I can pull my glasses off and I can drive from here to Jacksonville without them. But I have to have them because it's on my driver's license. Well, I use it for an eye wash, but I believe that it has made my eyes come more closer to 20/20 vision than they ever been in many, many years.
Well, I had a problem one day, and I don't know if it was a urinary tract or kidney or whatever it was wrong with me, but I'm not the type that go to a doctor. I don't mess with doctors anymore. They just disappointed me in a lot of ways. So I was running to the bathroom like every minute, thinking I was needing to go to the bathroom. There was nothing there, but it was very painful for me. And I had heard that a lady was drinking a cup of tea every hour for a whole day. She drank a cup of tea every hour. And I said, well, I'm going to drink a cup of tea every hour and see maybe what's going to happen to me. So all day I suffered, but I drank that tea every hour. And although I had to go use the restroom, I was in tears. You know, it was just horrible. But anyway, the next morning, I got up and I was dreading it. And I had to go to the bathroom again, and I was dreading it, and it hurt so bad. And I was in complete agony. But when I had finished, and when I went to flush the toilet, and I looked down in the toilet, I had particles, I had stuff in there, some blood and pieces, I don't know what I had in there, but that had passed all through me, and after that came through, I was fine.
I've had chest pain since I was 21 years old. The first time I experienced it, I was in the Navy in Philadelphia, and stationed in Philadelphia, and I started having chest pain. I've had those chest pain ever since, until actually I started drinking the tea. I'd say about 5 months after drinking the tea, my chest pain disappeared, and I have never had chest pain since. The pain would start. I could feel the pain starting on my right side, and it would spread throughout the chest, and it would just take over up to where I couldn't laugh, I couldn't make any movement. It was like what you call throbbing pain at times, but it would just come on. And there was nothing. And many times I was just given medication by when I went to the doctor, they gave me medication to help eliminate the pain.
I take the tea while I'm in America, but I can't take the tea with me when I go to Europe. And of course, I'd be very sick. It would all come back on me. And I was doing this for a few years before it dawned on me like my last trip I went, I said, I'm going to drink maybe 4, 5, as many cups of tea I can the week before I fly out to go to Scotland. I'm going to build my immune system up so much that I'm going to see what happens when I go home. Well, I arrived in Scotland, no headache. I did take a couple of aspirins, you know, while I was in Scotland because I would have the little dulling pain coming back, but I would take a couple of aspirins that took care of it. I came back here, no migraine. This was my first visit in 12 years of me going back and forth, or 14 years me going back and forth every year to Scotland. This past year, it was my first year that I was pain-free and thoroughly enjoyed my visit, thoroughly enjoyed it. I used to dread having to go home because I knew what was waiting for me at the end of the trip and of the trip coming back. I dreaded it.
I thank God for the tea because I can sing, I can praise and glorify His name. And I just thank God for this tea. I can just sing, sing, sing. I used to couldn't sing. By the grace of God, I am saved. I am saved. Glory, glory, hallelujah. By the grace of God, I am saved. I am saved.
It has